Welcome. You are at the CCC.
Where there are no outside issues. My name is Anthony. I'm an addict and an alcoholic, another bozo on the bus, and I care about you.
My name is Jordan, and I'm an addict, and I am the third wheel to this relationship forever and always.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you are.
And each week,
Get out of here.
I'm LouiLou, and my pronouns are he and him, and I'm recovering for crystal meth and alcohol, and I'm always in search of balance. Yes, and each week we strive to foster a brave space where we can engage in conversations centered around topics of recovery.
And our intention is to hold and inspire better spaces for more people in recovery by tackling issues sometimes used to separate us.
And before we do that, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I realize that no matter how I say this, is like he's gonna be like, what?
Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.
Just like us and subscribe, please.
Yeah, just like do it, okay?
You should read the disclaimer a certain way. How about that?
I'm annoying.
You already sound like that. So,
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
The
God.
disclaimer is-
And now the disclaimer. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the thoughts and opinions expressed on At the CCC are alone. We do not represent anyone but ourselves. In other words, we're just a couple of friends behind a mic here to entertain you. And of course, everything we talk about is for general information purposes only. Work. So how are you guys? I don't care.
Oh my goodness.
somebody chose violence today.
Right.
You know, it's like, rah, rah.
Do we need to start over?
No.
I know exactly.
Do you need a count of five?
No, walk out of the room and come back in.
Right.
Let's try this.
Go
again,
on a timeout, please. Thank you.
Well, timeout.
Well, I'm good. I'm really good. It's like I was telling you guys before we got started that one of my sponsees sends me a message, text message. He's like, someone asked me to sponsor them, and I said yes, and I'm all, oh my God, I love it. So it's. I've been a sponsor and a grand sponsor before, but it's special when, because I feel like they're going to get an opportunity, or like parents say, I hope that they do exactly to you what you did to me. you go learn today.
Touch me.
And also, it's hard to tell somebody to do something you ain't doing yourself, because my love language is sarcasm. And I will.
You don't say.
Well, I was sitting in a meeting at SOS last night, and the speaker was sharing about something, and so one of my sponsors that we were talking about it, he was sitting behind me, and I looked back at him the whole time. I'm on. Girl, what's going on? Are they talking about us?
That's cute.
Okay.
Jordan?
I'm good. Yeah, no complaints. Just
No complaints.
no complaints.
That's really sweet.
No complaints-os.
Racism.
It's my go-to.
Microaggression. I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, no, I am good. My family's flying in a couple weeks.
Nice.
I graduate in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see my family. My West Coast family will meet my East Coast family, which I'm really excited about.
It's gonna be a rumble, huh?
West Side.
And I
Rumble in the
just
jungle.
put in my catering order because I'm gonna have the dinner catered at my friend's place
Nice.
in Oakland. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So today's topic.
Mm-hmm.
Is
What's that?
Did
Wait.
you forget
What's
it?
our? No. What's that introduction? It's like ladies, guys, gals, and they, them, pals.
sure.
I love that.
I know it is. It's really cool. It's
Guys,
really cool.
gals, and
But
they,
then,
them, pals.
You know how in the
What?
past you talked about like this is what Fox is going to pick up on. That's what they're going to pick up on. Why are you playing with my cord?
So today's topic is traveling in recovery.
Oh, yes.
And we're talking about this during Pride Month because we know people come from all over the globe to come to Pride in San Francisco. And we also know that people in San Francisco, kind of in the SF Bay area, like never come into San Francisco, they come here. And there's a lot of relapse that happens during Pride.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about traveling
Absolutely.
and recovery.
I feel like a lot of it stems from like, sometimes, how they say don't make any major changes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that major changes is changes like traveling in situations, because honestly, travel can be stressful.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Travel can be stressful. I'm fine once I get to some place, but usually it's like that. rushing, especially if I'm trying to get on a plane, if I'm trying, depending on how far I'm going or whatever. And I get there and I want to be a part of everything or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, I think sometimes too, when you're traveling, right? A lot of folks who their drug of choice is alcohol, right? Airport drinkers is like a thing that I've learned about. Wasn't for me, but like, I get it. Like when you're by yourself, you can get away with it. When I travel, I'm by myself. Like, I can get away with this. I'm here for 5 days, and I can do whatever I want for 5 days and come back, and no one will ever know. I think that's kind of like my addict brain talking.
Yeah, traveling for me is always stressful. Like I don't like flying, just because it's stressful. But but like when I'm in another country, there is something that feels like very brand new.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like there is that anonymity.
The rules are different.
Yeah, like I'm sober in the United States.
They don't know me.
Not in Aruba.
Exactly. Hello.
Aruba.
I've never tried this here. I bet you that crystal meth is different.
It'll be different this time.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, so traveling can be really stressful. I think when I'm thinking about Pride, for example, or like traveling for big events, there's a way that I think you could feel, or I might feel kind of like a bit of FOMO if everyone around me at this like event is like fucked up, and that can, if you're in early recovery, that can be very tempting.
So that struggle with early recovery, like trying to hold on to those relationships that you had from before. I think that was one of the challenges. Like when you're traveling, like, I mean, nowadays having a little more time or whatever, I get to think about things that I would not normally think about before.
Yeah.
Like when you're new in recovery and you're wanting to travel, even with your new friends who are in recovery that are new, like I think one of the things that I'm always like looking for, like, how much do I trust these individuals? Because I think there has to be a level of trust, because I don't want to go out of the city limits and have you show your ass. I don't want to travel to the next neighborhood with somebody who is going to act an ass. That's another thing that's a problem too.
Yeah. Have you traveled in with like a bunch of sober people before?
Just to go to conferences and roundups and things like that, like Hawaii. We went, like, and that was fine. And actually, we had. I thought that was a wonderful experience, because
it was great.
Those of us that were in our Airbnb, that was nice.
That was so cool.
Yeah, that was nice. So
yeah.
I was like, we're all adults. That doesn't happen all the time.
No, but also like everyone there had some time.
Yeah, no. Well, I think it makes the difference.
Wait, didn't 3 of you guys have like double digit sobriety?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It makes the difference.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, for me, it's like, I like when I'm going, I don't like to bookend. Like, I will make plans, but I do not want to travel with someone who's like, we got an itinerary and this is like them all, because that is stressful along with the travel and everything.
I fucking hate that so
that's
much.
not cute.
Forced fun? No, thank you.
No, exactly. Now, for the next 10 minutes, we're going to sit together and smile. And yeah, that's super control. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Did I tell you guys I celebrated 7 years last week?
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God. You don't look a day over. Like, no. Okay.
Right.
Thanks. Yeah, 7 years. Oh, you're supposed to hit the applaud button.
Oh.
Fucking dildo.
I know. Hello.
Thank you.
You didn't think we invited you back here to talk with us?
Why are you in front of the board if you can't? Are not going to hit buttons?
Exactly. It's like
assassination on my character.
You remember, we don't need you.
Right.
We want you. We just don't need you.
I feel
so traveling.
Yes.
Traveling and so actually this trip that I'm going to go on is for a sober person's birthday, and I obviously am taking that trip to celebrate that birthday, but also like to celebrate like my own recovery and also like wrapping up my pre-doc. And I've traveled with most of these people, I think, before, but I do have like I don't think I'm going to drink, but I'm a little worried about like my emotional, psychological health.
when you've been away, because I haven't traveled outside of the country with folks in recovery and when you find yourself in that situation, how do you deal with it? Like,
Right. So I was, what I was thinking of was the last time I hung out with Leslie and Kim. This was a while ago. We went.
Love Leslie and Kim.
Oh yeah, I love them.
Hi, Leslie and Kim. Shout out.
Yeah. So yeah, I love them so much. They're like my big sisters. Big sisters. Big sisters. So what I loved about them is like, so we went camping, one of my favorite memories. And every night we would hold a little meeting with the three of us.
Nice.
We
Very nice.
might read daily reflections. You might read a page out of the book. We spent time, we would journal. We would, we would journal. We would, like, not prayers, but we might like meditate a little bit.
I think that's the key when you're with like-minded people, because half the time we were like, fuck you, I'm on vacation.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. We like took time to like write in our gratitude journals, and like it was just so nice. It was such a nice trip. But so when I travel, I try to do that. Like there are a couple things that I try to do. I try to go to a meeting in the area because that's fun. I try to,
because when they ask for who's visiting, I'm from California.
Not everyone does that.
Oh, they don't?
No, not everyone does.
I guess that's what we do.
Yeah.
Because they don't care. It's like, I'll just come in the meeting. You ain't special.
Yeah. I try to do an escape room if they have escape rooms in the area.
Of course.
Oh my God.
I love escape room. Why is everyone so upset again? And then
I love it when you were saying, it's like, wasn't your birthday? You did 30 escape rooms? I'm like, seriously?
I've done over 100
I'm doing an escape room
rooms
to get away from you.
This feels like an escape room.
Oh my God.
With no codes. So the third thing I like to do is I like to find like a local eatery, like a place that's like unique to that area. And
then get on the local grinders. and find some ass.
Okay, let me tell you, that used to be a way that I loved to travel. I would go to like a new area and I'd want to hook up with like someone who was from that area.
At least one, but I want to break the city in.
That's like not my goal for Mexico City.
Well, I love that, but you're gonna do it. Huh?
No, that's not the plan.
Okay.
But let's talk about that, right? So like traveling sometimes, like for people who are sober, like part of the way they might make it interesting for themselves is like hook up with someone in the area. Yeah.
I feel like when you're traveling with people, what I learned, like I spent a lot of time on this podcast talking about a situation that happened with one of my good friends. We traveled to Palm
remember.
Springs, and we had like our falling out or whatever. What I've learned is like if I am going to travel with people, we need to have a conversation about what that looks like beforehand. Meaning, do we think we're having a good girlfriend weekend and we're going to spend all of our time together? Or are you going to be okay with the fact that sometimes I need to be with myself, and that I didn't come here to take care of anybody. Like I love going to Palm Springs and staying with my friend Stephanie because
what a sweetheart.
It's like Stephanie's number one, amazing, but I go there and it's like low maintenance. I do not need to be taken care of. I'm a grown ass man. And it's like she's all good with me doing whatever I need to do. And we meet and it's perfect. And that's what I like. I like traveling with Jason. And anyway, I just wanted to say that. Shout out. Throwing names all over.
Yeah. People that no one knows. So, well, like not all of our listeners know those people.
Yeah. But
I just say names all the time. I'm like, Jose this. So what I like about what you're saying is that you're talking about like the things that keep you anchored when you travel, right? For you, it's like alone time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And it's like designated time to like hang out with a friend, right?
Yeah. Usually like the last day in Hawaii when we were there, I like put my Netflix account in and I love
you
that
guys shit.
Go do what you're doing. It's like, I'm good.
Me too. That's the way I love traveling. That was such a great time.
Yeah.
I love traveling that way because I do need time to myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be tired when I get back. It's like you end up needing a vacation from the vacation.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Totally. No, and I think for me, before sobriety, I traveled a lot with my soccer team, right? Where a lot of it was revolved around drinking, right? And then post recovery, traveling with my soccer team, where it's still all about drinking. I think for me, it has been a lot of managing other people's expectations. This is not what I'm going to do, right? Or that, like Anthony was saying, finding meetings in the area and saying, at 5:30, I'm going to this meeting. Wherever you guys are, that's where I'm going, right? And I think surrounding myself with people who are okay with that, who don't pressure me to, oh, just stay with us. You don't have to go to the meeting. You're safe with us, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. It's advocating for myself, saying this is what I need so that I can show up.
100%. I love that. You know what you were saying earlier about, what was it? People. Okay, so
Just people. All
Fucking people.
sorry guys, sorry I yelled into that. So there's this really beautiful essay that was written by Bill Wilson. It's called "The Next Frontier: Emotional Sobriety," and what he gets to is that, like, he realizes in his own recovery that that he was relying too much on other people to feel good.
Uh-huh.
That, like, his happiness was contingent on, like, these people. And what I love about this essay is that he's not saying that, we have to do away with people and we should only be happy with ourselves. But he would say, like, relying on other people, like, if that is your only source of happiness, that's a setup.
Absolutely.
Right. And so when you, for example, talk about, like, being with yourself, especially when you're traveling, that to me sounds very sober.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds very grounded.
And then any time that I do get to be with people, it's like bonus,
Right.
and really it's like, I think that if I'm mindful, and the key for me is mindful, being aware of what is acceptable, what is okay for me, and not getting caught up in, like, people pleasing. Because when I went to P-Town, I had to bring extra tools in my spiritual kit because I was traveling with two individuals that I care about, but there were other challenges, and I could have fed into it, but what I ended up doing was, like, this is not about me. I'm not going to personalize it. I'm not going to let this affect my good time. And it was great, and I managed to survive it until the end. And I think that if we could talk about that more, like, when you find yourself in situations where things don't go exactly the way that you hope they would, and how do you deal? Because drama sometimes follows. And I don't want to, in my mind, I don't want to be like, don't ever do it, because a big part of relationship is risk taking. Mm-hmm. A big part of growing to a place where you really feel comfortable with people is putting yourself possibly in situations that are not so comfortable. Like, if I don't have those experiences, how do I have perspective? And so it's like, I don't want to be that sourpuss to say, don't travel with nobody. Because my father used to say, trust no living ass and walk mighty carefully around the dead.
Your dad sounds really cool.
No, he is amazing. Yeah. He is absolutely amazing. But
no, I wasn't being funny. That sounds really cool. I want to write that shit down.
He has all those sayings. I have my Lewisisms, and they're his Lewisisms.
Wait, so what does he say? Can you say the line? He says,
trust no living ass and walk mighty carefully around the dead.
I love that.
And you know what?
That should be the tagline to our show.
But it took me a while to understand what he was talking about. It's not to not trust anybody, but it kind of what Bill Wilson's attitude is: don't put your faith and all that in someone else, because we're human, we're fallible, and we will let you down. You know, and that's one thing that's guaranteed.
Absolutely, yeah. There's so many. I think they're like traveling. I think. I like that you brought up stress. I've been telling you guys what I like for the last few episodes. But I like that you bring up stress, because really, like, what you're talking about are like vulnerabilities that we have, right? Like when our recovery can start to get vulnerable. And if being under a lot of stress, that could be one. Having interpersonal conflict can be one, right? Your plan's not working out the way that you want them to, that can be one. Like, there are all of these different things that, especially if you're in early recovery, can compromise you, because your defenses are down, especially like fatigue, like being really tired, right? All of those things.
Okay, so
question. Tell me how you feel about me. What is it, Drayden?
How do you know when you are able to travel, A, with a group, or B, travel on your own? Like, what tools do you need to have? What is there a tool? Is that like case by case? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if this is like a universal answer, like one that applies all the time, but I think for me, I have to be grounded in something. So I need some kind of routine, right? So for me, it's like, especially when I'm away from home, because when my routines are disrupted, like that's just like not good for my mental health, and also just like not good for me in general. So I try to set up routines, right? Like, yes, I'm traveling, but I'm going to make my bed every day, or I'm going to contact one of my friends every day. So there's that, right? Like, so I can ground myself wherever I go. Whether or not like a person knows when they're ready to travel, I mean, I don't know, like if I think,
yeah, there's no set.
Yeah, I think,
no
but I do think early recovery is probably not a good time.
Yeah, it's like
that's when you need the most structure.
I feel like you need that structure, but yeah, you're right. It's like when I get to a place where I've set into place certain things and I'm living by them. It's almost when you're in that maintenance phase of all the stuff that you're doing, and like, cause I used to doubt myself. Like, I would show up and follow through, and I can't believe I'm doing this. It's like not trusting myself. I get to that point where I'm trusting myself more, or at least I'm trusting myself to make smarter, like your tagline is like, make better choices.
Make good choices.
Make better choices. Make better. Like
fucked you all up.
I know. Make good choices.
Jordan, what are you doing on your phone over there?
Girl, don't start with me.
I know, exactly. It's like, it's good that it's you, because normally it's like I feel like you can pull a ruler out of nowhere and smack you on your knuckles. It's like, come on.
Now text him.
You'll get your phone when we're done, okay?
I have my watch. So traveling. Here's a question.
Yeah, we're all sassy.
Okay. What is a time in recovery that you've traveled and you felt good about it? Jordan, why don't you share? Because can I just say why? Yeah. Because when you traveled with your team to Texas, and you were still in early recovery. And I remember that, like, before you left, you actually I feel like you did all the things. You've talked about it a little bit. Talk about that.
Totally. I think, well, first, so everybody that I went with knew that I was in recovery before we left. The second thing is I happened to meet somebody from Dallas at a meeting here. And so I reached out, I introduced myself and said, hey, I'm going to Houston.
Hook up, huh?
Well, anyway, I went.
Wait, is this the guy?
No, I wish.
Okay. Not I wish. Oh my God, go on.
Anywho, so I introduced myself and said, hey, I'm going to Houston this week. Are there any meetings out there? Like, I know you're from Dallas. That's a big difference, blah, blah, blah. He said, yes, I know somebody in Houston. Let me connect you. So he connected me with this person via Instagram. And I said, hey, I'm going to be here these 6 days. When are some meetings I can go to? He said, this is the Houston. They have the Lambda Center is what it's called.
Yeah. I know Dallas.
And so he like, go there. There's meeting times, blah, blah, blah. I said, great. So I had that in advance. I had those meetings and times. And it happened to work out, right? Where like there was some downtime with the team and they were about to either all taking a nap or we were out get ready to eat. And I was like, I'm going to go to this hour meeting real quick. I'll meet you out wherever you're at in an hour. Right. And I think just being transparent with everybody about where I was going to be, and I'm going to be back in an hour. Right. And I think having those folks who I can be accountable on, it's like, if I'm not back here in an hour, call me.
Call the police.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that you created a structure for yourself.
Totally.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. And you were honest, and you were like connecting with people around you. That's dope. I feel like that's what you do when you travel. You know what I mean? Like that's amazing.
No, it was nice.
I mean, that's good for like, I feel like that would work for my mental health. Like that would be really good for that.
Yeah. And it was cool to meet other folks too. Right. And we went to all the different bars in Houston. We did this huge Bunnies on the Bayou.
I remember,
party, blah, 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 right? So there's drinking and drugs all around me, right? But like, because I was comfortable enough with the team that they knew, right? I think I had like a club soda in my hand, and they're like, what's in there? And I was like, it's fucking club soda.
They beat your ass.
Which is like what I needed for that trip,
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, the power of like community and friendship.
Absolutely.
That's quite beautiful.
You feel like, yeah.
So yeah, I think like what we're talking about is like being rooted, right? Like having some kind of structure. I think even like if you're coming to Pride, like bookending your Pride.
No, absolutely.
One of my favorite things that I've heard in the rooms before is like, know when it's time to leave.
No, exactly. Know when it's time to leave.
Know when it's time to leave.
It's like, yeah, no, Pride, that was a big one. It's like, I don't have to participate in everything to be fine. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, you don't. You really don't. And you also, because sometimes you can be like guilt tripped into doing things.
Oh yeah. So you have to be able to say, okay, yeah, I'm good. Like I was going to tell you, one of my favorite trips in recovery was I went to New York to meet Franklin. And so he was working a lot while I was there, but so I got to just explore the city by myself. That's my perfect idea. I love people, but I love being by myself. I went to theaters. I went to the movies. I did all sorts of stuff. I ran through the rambles, and I'm like, hey,
running through the rambles.
Well, I didn't run.
I know you walked.
I slowly with my junk in my hand.
Oh my God.
What y'all got for me here?
Hello, New York City.
How you doing? I was like, I'm on. It's like, forget about it. That was so lame.
Have you seen that video of the guy? He's like, forget about I'm walking here. And some woman walks up to him and she goes, we don't fucking talk like that.
I know, I saw that. It's like, didn't he get hit?
I think so, probably.
Yeah.
Those videos never end well.
No, they don't.
Any final words about travel, my friends?
I'm encouraging you to, like, it's something to look forward to, but I feel like, just like with other things we talked about, like sex and whatever, taking a break from it, giving yourself time to kind of like fortify yourself or whatever, so that you can have the experience that you want and not feel like you've lost out, or not feel like you
missing out.
No, not the miss out. Not feel like you've when like say you do and you relapse, not beating yourself up because you feel like you failed at something. Mm-hmm. Like it's gonna come. It's up to you, because I think, like you said, there's no timeline. We all know, and you'll know when it's right. And so, hey. And if you're not certain, take your ass to some conferences with some sober people and let them support you.
Yeah. Get some sober friends.
Yeah,
Connect with some sober people. Text them, call them.
Go to a silent retreat with some Jesuits.
Okay. They drink too.
I know.
I don't know.
Church wine, different.
It's like that Eskimo that says, like that Eskimo.
What do you mean like church wine like it's different? People drink fucking mouthwash. Like, what are you talking about? Ooh.
So, the Castro.
Are
we ready?
My favorite addition to the paper is hearing it rustle in the mic.
Damn, but you won't hear it because you always say,
"I can." If I can hear it here,
you can hear it. But okay. Sound effects. So the Castro Country Club is a safe and sober community center.
Is it safe? Is it safe?
It's as safe as it's going to be, and for all people, and a refuge for the LGBTQ recovery community.
We provide programs and services that help change lives by supporting personal growth.
Yes, and our vision is to reduce the suffering of addiction by connecting people to community opportunity and support.
You can find more information, including all the ways to contact us, at www.castrocountryclub.org/podcast.
And catch us every Monday when new episodes are released. We love you.
We love you.
Every Monday. And make good choices.
Bye.
Bye.